Okay, Trig class, we're going to review from the other day. We're going to do a couple examples together so you're ready to go. We're going to start with number one. We're going to solve these trigonometric equations. Our first step is to add 1 to both sides. We have 2 sine of theta is equal to -1. We then divide by 2. So sine of theta is equal to -1/2. That's the question we're trying to answer. So at this point, we first determine where is sine negative. That would be in quadrants 3 and quadrants 4. Sine is positive in the first and second. It's negative in the third and the fourth. I draw my reference angle, and then I go to my calculator. There's Sam with her gun. Hope you all had a good weekend. I hope that you enjoyed the Super Bowl. I hope that your team won. Hope you're as disgusted by the halftime show as I was. Okay. There we have it. So I make sure that your calculator is working in degrees. And I sine inverse 0.5. Don't include the negative. You already took care of the negative when you found which quadrant it was in. I get 30. So therefore, this angle is 30 degrees, and this is 30 degrees. So for my final answer here, theta is equal to, that is 210 degrees, because it's 30 past 180, and that is 330 degrees, because it's 30 back of 360. So those are the 2 angles that satisfy that equation. Do a couple more with you so that we can follow this all the way through. We're going to do number 7 together. 7 looks unique because it has tangent, but you see it has multiple tangents in there. I'm simply just going to subtract 3 tangent of theta from both sides. And I get negative tangent of theta is then equal to 1. I'm going to divide by -1. I get tangent of theta is equal to -1. At this point, I determine where is tangent positive, where is it negative. Tangent is positive in the first and the third, so it's negative in the second and the fourth. So I draw my reference angles in the second and the fourth quadrant. Go to my calculator. I inverse tangent 1. Don't include the negative. The negative is what we use to determine the quadrants. I get 45. So that will help me determine my 2 answers. This is 45 degrees back of 180. So that first angle is theta equals 135 degrees. And the next one is 45 back of 360 or 315 degrees. We'll do one more with cosine. Flip to the back side and we'll do one that looks really complicated. We'll do number 15. Distribute the 2. We have 7 minus cosine of theta is equal to 2 cosine of theta plus 2. I'm going to subtract that 2 cosine of theta. Actually, you know what, folks? Looks like this problem would work out a lot better if this, instead of a 7, was a 1. Sorry about that. Otherwise, it doesn't have a solution. Sorry, I wrote a bad problem there. So again, I have 1 minus cosine of theta is equal to 2 cosine of theta plus 2. I'll subtract 2 cosine of theta. So now on the left-hand side, I have 1 minus 3 cosine of theta is equal to 2. We'll subtract the 1. Negative 3 cosine of theta is equal to 1. Divide by negative 3, cosine of theta is equal to negative 1/3. It won't always come out to be negative. Just by chance, I picked 3 that come out to be negative. Cosine is positive in the first and the fourth, so it's negative in the second and the third quadrants. I draw my reference angles there. I go to my calculator. Cosine inverse 1/3. And I get 70.53 degrees. 70.53 degrees. So theta is equal to this angle right here is 70.53 back of 180. So 180 minus 70.53. And I get 109.47 degrees. The next one, you do 180 plus 70.53, and we get 250.53 degrees. So again, that's if you do 70.53 past 180. So there you have it. Work through the problems. If there's ones that you're confused on, don't worry. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys at conferences tonight. If you need to ask each other questions, go ahead. But hopefully they work out fine. So good luck. Thanks for your focus.